Alright, welcome back everybody. Let's go ahead and look at some of the options that I have set up. We'll start off with the graphics. So I won't go through these, I'll just scroll through them and let you pause and look and see what I'm running at. The big ones, these three right here I don't care for in any video game that I play. Also I have shadows disabled. It kind of really depends on the game that I'm playing, but for this Let's Play I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. Okay, under gameplay we have fatigue simulation. This is for single player. In multiplayer, the only thing it'll do is that your character will yawn if you don't pull over and sleep. However, in single player, once your character starts to yawn, if you don't pull over, you start getting fined. And eventually, if you keep on driving, your screen's going to go black and you lose control of your vehicle. Transmission types, we have 4 to choose from: simple, real, sequential, and H-shifter. Your simple, assuming you're using a keyboard, W is going to be your gas to go forward, S is going to be your brakes, as well as your reverse. Real automatic is like driving a car. W is your gas, S is your brake, and you actually have to change gears manually into drive, neutral, and reverse. Sequential and H-shifter give you a little bit more control over what gear and when you change those gears. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh yes, two more that I want to cover. Braking and trailer stability. Sound kind of obvious, but some people probably don't know about it. If you increase it, you stop faster. Decreasing, your vehicle takes longer to stop. Trailer stability, same thing there. If you increase it, your trailer is more stable. You can take corners faster without worrying about tipping over your load. And if you decrease it, you have a greater chance of tipping over your load in a turn. Since we are running a simulation and I want to try to keep it as real as possible, I'll have those settings turned all the way down for this Let's Play. What else do we have? I think that's, oh yes. These right here, these are going to be personal preference and or what country you may be from. So you might want to take a look at those and set those up. Under controls, there's one in here, adaptive automatic transmission. I'll cover that later, but I want to let you guys know that I do have this check marked. If you're running a shifter to where you can change gears whenever you want, that setting won't really affect you. This is going to be mostly for keyboards and Xbox users. So what that automatic adaptive transmission does, if you look at the bottom middle of my screen, you can see my tachometer. It's going up and down. If you have it check marked, your RPMs are going to get pretty close to that red line before you change gears. If you don't have it check marked, you're going to stay pretty well within the green in between changing of gears. So what does that mean? Well, if you have it check marked, you'll be able to get those RPMs up, which means you'll actually be able to take off quicker and it'll help you on the inclines. And if you don't have it check marked, you're going to take off a little bit slower because you're changing gears faster. This will save you on gas, but whenever you come to those big inclines, you're going to have a real tough time getting up some of those. Again, if you're running with if you're changing gears by yourself, that really won't affect you at all. Alright, so you just started. You notice you have a trailer hooked up to you. You've got a map down in your bottom right hand corner. You can change how that's set up. Give you a little bit bigger map, maybe a smaller map, however you like it. That blue triangle that you see, that's you. The red is where you're coming from and where you're going to. Our destination is that white circle on the bottom right hand corner. So let's go ahead and proceed over that way. And again, I am running simulation, so I'm going to try not to get outside a cab. But occasionally in multiplayer, you're just going to have to try to avoid some of that traffic. Some of those players do drive pretty fast, and I do as well at times myself. Now, one thing about single player, the traffic AI, it's decent, but you can do things with the traffic AI that you can't do in multiplayer. If you pull out in front of somebody in multiplayer, you never know if they're going to stop. Whereas here, as long as you're not going too fast, you can actually cut the AI off and they will stop. I'll try to show that one later on when I get on the highway. So this white line that you see on the ground, that's where you're going to try to put your trailer. So you just want to kind of line up. Take your time, don't go too fast. Now I'm not that great of a player. Terrible at backing up, and in real life I actually find this a lot easier. Bear in mind, I don't drive semis. I have pulled trailers, mostly a boat behind an SUV. To disembark your trailer, you're going to press the T button if you're using a keyboard. Other controllers, you're just going to have to remember how you had that set up. So right now we're leaving our trailer behind. You come up with a screen that tells you how well you did. Excellent means that we didn't run into anybody. We got our trailer there within a pretty good amount of time. We didn't take any damage. And it also told us how much money we made off of that trip. You get a nice little cut screen of your little garage there. That's ours. We own that. We'll be able to build that up, make it look nicer later on as we go. I'll just go ahead and skip through some of this. It's a cutscene. You can watch it if you want to. So the next thing we need to do, and I know a lot of you people are probably wondering, well, I said this is going to be a multiplayer Let's Play. Well, the problem is, in order to play multiplayer, I'm doing everything that you will have to do to be able to get into multiplayer. You actually have to run jobs for other companies, build up your revenue, and then eventually buy your own vehicle. So what I want to do in this multiplayer series, I want to do a map completion, which is 100% means I drove every single road that there is, and I went to every single parking spot, opening up the entire map. Plans may change later on down the road. I may say that I also want to have X amount of vehicles and agents working for me and stuff like that. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see how things go. So you made it this far. The next thing you're going to want to do is open up the job market. The only option that we have available to us right now is quick job. What this means is we're going to be working for another company. We're using their trucks and pulling trailers to and from wherever they tell us. So once you open up the quick job menu, you have a choice. Which vehicle do you like, or what town do you want to start and end at? Me, I hate to say the word I don't care, but for this Let's Play, the only thing I really care about right now is going to be money. So I want to go for the one that's going to give me the most money. And that's going to be this one right here. We're going to be hauling cauliflower. It tells you what you're hauling, the weight, and where from and to, as well as the vehicle that you're using. Now it doesn't go into great detail about the vehicle you're using, it just tells you the type. Now over here on the right hand side you can see that this is a standard delivery. I'll go over more on that later because that's all that you start off with. Sorry about that. Later on you can have standard deliveries. It could be doing deliveries with fireworks or gasoline, hazardous materials, just all kinds of stuff. I'll go over more about that later on. So let's go ahead and take our first job. As you can see again, we're already hooked up to our trailer. Now when you get into multiplayer, you will have the option to be able to take quick jobs, but you're also going to have your own vehicle. And if you have your own vehicle, you'll actually have to drive there. You'll have to pick up your trailer manually and then drive it to the destination. But we're doing a quick job right now, so let's go ahead and carry on. Now in the bottom right hand corner, you can see that the roads are gray. As you drive over them, they're going to turn yellow, and that's what I meant by 100% completion. I want all the roads to be yellow. And of course that red line, again, that means that's your destination, where you're coming from and where you're going to. So go ahead and get started. And might as well talk a little bit about me. I'm not the best player. I am new to YouTube. This is the first video that I'm going to be putting up. I hope it does well. I'm not one for talking. I've always been kind of the quiet listener, but I figured, you know what, I like gaming. I like gaming a lot. I'm not very good at it, depending on what game it is. Uh, One thing that I've discovered, because I've tried recording this over and over, and it's amazing how hard it is for a first timer who's A, I don't talk a whole lot, B, I'm a guy. I'm not very good at multitasking. Props to guys that can multitask. Now women, that's a totally different story. I mean, women can be doing, 1,000 things at one time, playing video games, carrying on conversations, and be thinking about what they want to eat for dinner. I mean, I don't know how they do it. I'll go ahead and show off some of the traffic AI. Now, if I was to do this in multiplayer, I'm probably going to upset some people. But watch this. As I slowly creep up, the AI is actually going to stop. Of course, if I was to go too fast, they're not going to have time to brake, and they will actually run into me. Most of the time they will stop for you, though, if you get in front of them. So I took a little bit of damage. You saw that in the bottom right hand corner. What that's going to do for me now, you're going to see that I will not have an excellent rating when I get to my destination. So what that means is I'm actually going to make a little bit less for the run that I'm going to be delivering, because my product got damaged as well as my vehicle. And later on, you'll actually when you get your own vehicle, you'll actually have to repair it, which is going to come out of your pocket. So not only are you worried about getting your product to where it goes safely without taking damage, you're also worried about your truck, which after you build it up can be quite expensive. I was playing a multiplayer course not too long ago. I ran right into the back of somebody and totaled my vehicle, so I had to call a tow truck out, and once it delivered me to where I was supposed to go, and it's instant, you just get like a little cut screen. I lost 100,000 on that. It totaled out my truck and damaged my product quite a bit. So definitely want to be careful about that. On the bottom right where the map is, it'll be the top left of the map actually. You can see how it's red. That means I'm speeding. There's a white circle with a red circle around it. That tells you how fast you're supposed to be going. And if you pay attention, and it's gray right now, but once I get past 50 miles an hour, it's going to turn red, letting me know that I'm speeding. You can see it turning red right now. That means you're going speeding. There are speed cameras. There's no cops in this particular one. There are speed cameras. If you don't watch out for them, you'll get a speeding ticket. Some of the other icons down on the map area. Of course, the top left is your speed. Right hand side of that, that's what gear you're in. Right now I'm in 12. Dropped it down to 10 because I'm mashing my gas, and I let up off my gas to put me back up into 11 and eventually 12. To the right of that you see a picture of your truck. Right now it's gray, which means I'm not too well damaged. I did take some damage, but it's not that bad. If I was to rear end somebody and I took quite a bit of damage, part of that truck is actually going to turn red, letting me know what part of my truck is damaged. To the right of that you have a bed. That tells you when you need to sleep. Eventually it turns blue, letting you know you need to pull over and get some rest, and if you keep on going it will turn red, and like I said, if you're playing single player you lose control of your vehicle and get speeding tickets. To the right of that you have an envelope letting you know that whenever you get mail. I'll go ahead and pause the game because it looks like I have mail. Now this is something you can do in single player. In multiplayer you can't pause the game. You would actually have to find a good place to pull off of the road, because that's against the rules to stop in the middle of in the road. You can actually get temporary, possibly permanent ban for pulling over in the road. You want to find a safe spot to where you're not going to interfere with anybody else's playing. So we have a email here. It just tells us that there's trucks for sale. Of course, we don't have enough money to buy any, so we'll go ahead and keep on driving. So as you're driving and you're opening up the map, eventually you'll come to opening up the trucks and the agent dealers. In order to buy a truck, you have to first discover it, the company. Like there's a DAF, MAN, Iveco, and there's some others I can't remember off the top of my head. So yeah, you would actually have to drive to that company in order to unlock it to be able to purchase a truck from that company. Same goes for when you get ready to hire somebody to work for you. Now when you go to hiring somebody to work for you, you actually have to supply them with a truck. So I'm not going to worry too much about that right now. That'll be something that we cover whenever we get a second truck. There's some other icons down there. The bottom of the mini-map, F5, that's going to increase and decrease your map size, so you can set that however you like. F6 is going to tell you a little bit about your load. You see right there, it tells us we're delivering cauliflower, how much it weighs, when the drop-off is expected, and if you don't get there within that time frame, you don't get that excellent. You get, you might get satisfactory or terrible or something like that. What else do we have? F7 tells you what's damaged, how badly it's damaged, and that's terrible. That's terrible. See, right now we didn't do a whole lot of damage to our load, but our truck is a little bit damaged. So if this was our truck, we'd eventually have to get it repaired, but this is a company truck. It still will come out of our pocket though. It's also, say your truck was totally disabled, you can press the enter button and this will take you to the repair shop. That way you can get your vehicle repaired. F8, I can't remember, what is that? That's short messages. I think that's your email and letting you know when your driver's made money and stuff like that. I to be honest, I can't recall off the top of my head. One more icon that I forgot to inform you about. To the right of your vehicle is a gas icon letting you know how much fuel that you have available. Company trucks, they're supplying us with the gas, but if you have your own vehicle, you would have to eventually stop and resupply it. The gas in this game, I would say it's probably unrealistic. I haven't driven a semi, so I don't know how far they can go before they need gas. Is this guy letting me over? Yeah, okay. That is an option that you can check. The more you mash your gas, supposedly the more gas it eats up. I have that checked. You could turn it off so you'll save fuel, but like I said, fuel's not really that big of a deal. I think even with the biggest engine that I had, I think I was only stopping once per load, and that was going from the east coast all the way to the west coast of the map. If I had to travel by boat, sometimes I did have to fill up twice though. I'm trying to keep it as realistic as possible. Again, it's hard. I'm trying to come up with topics to talk about. Also, it's my first time, so driving is not the best, and I am definitely not a pro gamer. I realize I'm speeding. I try to drive as fast as I feel comfortable doing. I don't feel like the speed limits in this game really are designed too well. I mean, you could have a speed of 65 1 second and it'll tell you to be going 35 the next second. So I don't really feel like that's realistic. A little bit harder driving with this AI. I'm used to multiplayer. There's not a whole lot of cars on the road most of the time, and you can see them on your mini-map. They'll come up as blue dots whenever you get next to a player, so it's a bit easier to know, to be able to know when somebody's coming. After we drop this trailer off, I'll run around and try to show you what all the different icons on the mini-map represent. That green one, the green and blue one that you see down the bottom right, that's going to be where you can purchase other garages. I don't think there's a limit on how many you can buy, but they do cost, I believe it's 180,000. We already have a garage. There are, I think, 5 or 6 different spaces that you can fill that garage with vehicles. Our current garage only holds 1 vehicle, so that means that we can only have 1 truck parked in that garage or free for an agent to use. You'll have to upgrade your garage to allow for more vehicle slots, or buy another garage. Well, I'm not going to turn there. Yeah, you're going to see me make a lot of mistakes, and of course once we get into multiplayer, that's where I have a lot of fun. There is griefing, and griefing is against the rules. I do enjoy it, not doing it, but enjoy sometimes when it happens to me. It kind of keeps me on my toes a little bit more than the AI would, I guess. Kind of unexpected, never know when it's going to happen. Again, it is against the rules, so I advise against it. I sometimes like it when it happens to me. Sometimes. Just kind of keeping you on your toes. And like I said, I am terrible at video games, but we're going to get this done. Maybe. Might have to cut it out and cheat, right? Good thing with this is You don't have to be perfect. It's kind of like in golf. There's gimmies. As long as you get close, you're going to get it. It doesn't matter how many tries it takes. The only thing you're racing against is the clock, and there's plenty of time to get your product where it goes. So you don't need to break speed limits. You can take whatever scenic route you want within reason. Is it going to give it to me? Yep, you can see it turn green. Means I can drop off my trailer. Terrible parking job, but they're going to give it to me anyway. And surprisingly enough, even though I took 2% damage, it went ahead and said I got an excellent rating. That's surprising. Usually it downgrades that. So here's how much money we made, $3,000. And for a vehicle, we need about $100,000. Now, here is our leveling up system. I'll go ahead and cover this bottom one. This is going to be your fuel economy. If you were to max this out, that just means that you're not going to be using as much gas as the average driver who doesn't have any points down here. That really doesn't matter at all. Like I said, the gas in this system, I mean, you can literally drive for, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes in between having to fill up, maybe an hour as it is. Now, if I had this all the way up, then, you know, that might give me, see, 35%. That means instead of driving an hour, I could drive an hour and almost an hour and a half. These up here, we'll start off with long distance. That means the longer of a trip that I make delivering cargo, the more money I'm going to get. The higher the value of the cargo, the more money I'm going to get. And the same thing with fragile and just-in-time deliveries. Now you have what's called the ADR. And what that is like, it's like certificates allowing you to be able to carry fireworks or gas or explosive materials and so on. You can choose whichever one you want, whichever one you feel more comfortable in delivering it. Really, it doesn't matter, but it just allows us to be able to carry that material. I'm going to go ahead and choose the first one right there. So if there was a material, where is job market? If there was some fireworks, I think that's what I chose. And there's not. There's no fireworks available. The only options I have are these green ones, which is just standard delivery. But if there was one, and it would probably be orange, I think is the icon for it. If I chose to deliver that, let's say that there was a fireworks and I chose to deliver that, I would get a 5 or a 10% bonus if I had that option. Alright, so let's go ahead and take another job. How much money do we have? 6,000? Ah, we got an email. So let's go ahead and check out that email. Need more money, we can help at the bank. So let's go ahead and go to the bank. And you can see here, this is how much money that we can borrow. And I said our truck is going to cost us about $100,000. So we can borrow that and get straight into multiplayer. I want to go ahead and finish out one more run, and then we'll go ahead and borrow some money. Now we're starting out down here in the dirt pit. This one right here, you're gonna want to watch your speed. You're gonna come on some pretty good sized inclines that are pretty hard on a semi pulling a trailer. And as you can see, we're pulling 37,000 pounds or 37 tons. So I'm going to go ahead and give it all the gas she's got. You can see it takes a while to get up these hills. And if I was carrying, say, 50 tons, and I had a small engine, there's a pretty good chance I might not make it up that hill, and I'd have to back deck down it, either get up more speed going up that hill, or there's a chance that I might not be able to pull that trailer up that hill. I have my brakes all the way down right there, and you can see how long it took me to stop. And those options I told you about earlier, the brake intensity, if you don't feel comfortable with that stopping distance, you can increase that if you want, though it will make that a little bit more unrealistic. But you're playing a game. You want to be able to set the options the way you want, how you drive. Not everybody likes to play it the way I do, and that's understandable. You know, some people want to drive a semi, not necessarily realistic, but yet they want to get an idea of how the game plays. And you're going to see me breaking the speed limit again. I drive as fast as I feel safe doing so. Bear in mind, right here I'm talking and playing a game and not concentrating on playing the game. You're gonna see me make a lot of those mistakes. Hopefully I don't rear end somebody doing so, especially in multiplayer. I'd feel bad. You do have options for cruise control. There's quite a few of them, as well as resuming and increasing and decreasing the cruise control. Like I said, I'm running on I got a guy passing me. I'm running on an Xbox controller, so I'm kind of limited to the number of buttons that I can use. I would highly recommend, if you can afford it, to go ahead and get the steering wheel and a shifter. That will dramatically increase the fun factor. At least it would for me if I had those type of settings. I've tried playing it with the keyboard. Props to those people that can do it. I'm not one of them. I'm bad enough with the Xbox controller. But I still have fun, and that's what it's all about. Games were designed to be played and have fun, and if you're not having fun, you're either playing the wrong game or games aren't for you. These right here are the roads that we're coming up on. These are my favorite type of roads, really, especially in multiplayer. There's a lot less traffic, but that traffic that you come up on, you never know what they're going to do. Here, I know that guy's going to be slowing down. Multiplayer, you never know. There could be a guy going 70 miles an hour and just totally flip his truck, which, you know, I might be one of them. And you're going to get to see that on camera. So when I get into the multiplayer aspect of it, and after I've recorded for a while, I might make another recording showing all my fails and what I've seen other people, the mistakes that I've seen other people make, and make a compilation of it. another thing I forgot to go through on your map. You can see a whole lot of numbers. It tells you the estimated time of arrival, how far away you are. I'm 105 miles out from my destination, and roughly it tells you how long it's going to take you to get there. And at our current speed, it's going to take us 2 hours and 41 minutes. Now that is in-game time, not realistic. 2 hours and 40 minutes for me, if I was going 60 miles an hour, would be more like 2 minutes instead of 2 hours. Again, that really depends on how fast you're going. I do apologize if it gets quiet from time to time. Like I said, I'm new. It's hard to come up with things to talk about, especially when you're somebody who really doesn't talk a whole lot. But I'm venturing out and trying new things. I like watching YouTube videos and I like playing games, so I figured, well, why not try and make a game and put it up on YouTube. If there's some options that you don't understand, maybe you need a little bit of help with, feel free to ask away. If I don't know the answer, I will dig it up, and if I can't give you a straight answer, then I will do my best to link you to someone who has a good tutorial on how to set that up and what it does for you. There are options on the mirrors. Let's see, what button is it? F4. Right here you can turn your parking lights on and off, your beams, your auxiliaries, your high beams, and your beacon. I don't think I have any beacons on this truck right now. You can also do shortcuts on your keyboard, but that's another way that you can mess with some of that if you so desire. I'm looking for another shortcut. Bear with me real quick. F2. That's what it is. F2. It gives you more mirror options if you want. If you don't like having those mirrors up and you want to turn your head and look out, that's cool. For me, I like having that mirror on the top right. I don't like the one on the top left. It seems counterproductive when I've already got one there. The green icon that I'm coming up on, that's a gas station. I'll go ahead and pull over and show you how that works. Obviously I don't need gas. I'm in a leased truck. They provide me with enough gas to get to my destination. So the way it works, that little green icon, you're just going to pull up on top of it. You have to come to a complete stop. I set my parking brake. If you want to, you don't have to. Press E to turn off your engine, it tells you right there. And then hold down the enter button and you're getting gas. Again, I didn't have to do that. I had plenty enough gas, but I wanted to show you guys how to do that. Go ahead and start up your truck. Make sure you got your parking brake off. If you don't, yeah, you're not going very fast. Not that these trucks go very fast anyways. I can't see. And I'm glad there was nobody there. I would have taken a hit, that's for sure. Yeah, the AI in this game, it's I'd have to say it's pretty good. I know a lot of people would disagree with me, but I think for what it is, I think it runs pretty good. I do feel like there's probably a bit too much traffic at times. And I think it would be funny to see some of the traffic flip over, but again, we're going to be playing multiplayer. We'll see plenty of that, I assure you. And I'll probably be doing some of that myself. One thing I will note, and it may be my computer, probably my eyesight as well, I cannot make out a lot of these signs. I can read the blue ones, you know, the ones that tell you where you're supposed to be going, like Win and Munchkin, and I'm probably saying those names all wrong, but I can read those. It's the signs that tell you slow down, or the yield signs, some of those stop signs, a little bit hard for me to see. Just like those signs right there, I can read that, telling me where I need to go. Those X's right there, that's telling me that that's actually, I can't go that way. If I was to try to go that way, I would hit those white X's, and my vehicle would come to a complete stop. Probably take some damage as well. That means the game ends there. I can't go there. I didn't really think that I was close enough to hit him, but I guess I was. Hopefully this guy will let me go without hitting my trailer. Good thing was I was going slow enough. I don't think I actually took any damage on that. You can see in the right hand corner where the map is, that little bed icon I was telling you about, you can see it's starting to turn blue. Eventually that's going to fill all the way up, and if I don't sleep it'll turn red. Blue icon on the map, that's just telling you what highway or interstate that you're on. Good information to have in multiplayer, because like I said, in multiplayer you can't pause the screen and open up your map and say, yeah, I'm at whatever. Oh, another thing I was going to show you, on this map, see where my cursor's at, see that 1? If I click there, I can set my destination, or I call them waypoints. You can see what it's doing there is turning the map red, and to get rid of them, just click on them again. So that way you can set waypoints. That way you don't have to open up the map. You know, you'll have it right there on your mini map where the direction that you want to go. I'm going all over the road, not paying attention. I don't want to get off there. Go ahead and see if I can kind of tip my load a little bit. It doesn't look like it's going to. It depends on the weight of the trailer as well as the size of it. If it has a box truck, you know, it'd probably be leaning a little bit more, but I'm going, I wouldn't say slow, I'm going slow enough that that particular trailer is not going to tip. But if I was to go any faster, that trailer would have tipped. See if I can get a better angle of it. I'd have to get going pretty fast and take a real tight turn before that would tip over. Now a box trailer like what he's driving right there, I could make those tip pretty easy. can see it started raining, so we'll turn on the windshield wipers. That is the setting, it doesn't matter. Multiplayer and single player are both the same. You can increase the chance that it has to rain, and when it rains it's only going to do it on your screen. It will not affect somebody else's multiplayer. So for you it could be raining, whereas for me it won't have any rain at all. So if you like rain, you can increase that setting to where it'll do it more often. And you can control your wiper speed. Just click the button again and it goes a little bit faster. Click it again and turns it off. Doesn't quite go fast enough for me. I'm the type of person, if it's raining, not paying attention. When it's raining, I would prefer my wipers to be a little bit faster in real life. Probably about 1.5 times faster. But it's not bad. It's not really blurring the screen out to where you can't see. Let's turn them off and see what happens. No, it's not off. There we go. It'll blur it out a little bit, but you can still make it out. Whereas if you had that much rain on you in a real car, you're gonna have a tough time seeing the road. Now, there are mods you can get that will actually make it snow. I don't think I've seen any. I haven't looked recently, but I haven't seen any that actually make it to where you're sliding. That would be an interesting concept. Red lights. Just like in real life, if you were to run, and I'll go ahead and wait a second, show you, you will get a ticket if you run through the red light. I say that and I didn't get a ticket, and that's odd. Usually you will get a ticket. Maybe it's random, I don't know. In multiplayer you will get a ticket. Occasionally the lights will flash yellow instead of turning red, yellow, and green. They'll just flash yellow, and at that point you can cautiously go through them without getting a speeding ticket or a traffic ticket. See if this one gives us a ticket. Nope. That's very odd. I'll keep on testing that. Test it right here. It might just be certain red lights. Maybe it depends on how fast you're going. That's odd. Huh. Let me see. Maybe there's an option and I have it turned off by accident. Traffic offense, yeah, I have it checkmarked. So I don't know. Anyways, we're here. See if I get one here. Again, I'm testing this. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So yeah, you will get, and I don't know, maybe it's certain red lights, maybe it's how fast you're going, I don't know. But we're running a simulation. I want to try to keep it realistic, so I will be doing my best to obey that. Speeding, that's a different story. I'm going to go the speed that I feel comfortable at, and I will be making a lot of mistakes because I am recording and first time YouTuber, so. That's terrible. Terry bad, Terry bad. Alright, let's go ahead and fix that. When we get into multiplayer, you're going to see that there's a lot of people that are way better at this than I am. If I pull forward, that might actually straighten out and give it to me. Maybe not. Oh, wasn't back far enough. That's what it was. Alright, drop our trailer. Alright, well I think that's going to be it. Oh, no, wait. I did want to show you guys some of the icons in the city. And then we'll go ahead and wrap up. And in our next video, I'll go ahead and show you how to get your first truck and get into multiplayer. Oh, I can't. Okay, well, let's go ahead and show you how to get your first truck then. Let's see. We're going to go to the bank. We're going to borrow 100,000. And go to our truck dealer. You see all the question marks. Those are truck dealers that we haven't discovered, so we won't be able to actually just teleport to it. This one right here we do have discovered, so we can buy online, except it's going to tell us that we have to have purchased 5 trucks before we can just buy it online. I'll show that one later. I'm sure we'll have plenty of trucks later on. So we're going to go ahead and visit that truck dealer. There's 8 different body styles of trucks that you can get. We'll start out here with the first one. It gives you all the information about the truck, how much it costs. If we had another vehicle, we could actually trade that vehicle in, which would lower some of that cost. As you can see, we can purchase it right now, but I want to wait a second. Let's look at this one, the second vehicle. You'll notice that we have a level requirement. So that means that we actually have to level up our driving skills before we can purchase it. The only other option that we have is this vehicle right here, but we don't have enough money. So let's go back to that first one. We're going to purchase this vehicle. And it shows us purchasing it and the garage that it's going to be stationed at, which is our garage. We own that. We'll go ahead and skip that cutscene. You can watch it if you want to. Alright, so this is our ooh, that was terrible. This is our garage here. We can stop here. This is a place that you could rest if you wanted to. See that blue icon down there telling us that we need to rest? So if we drive over the green icon, it tells us we can enter the garage. Gives us information about the garage. And you can see here, whenever we get money, we can upgrade our garage. Tells us how much money that we need. And that will give us truck slots. So we could have, 2, 3, 4, whatever, however many trucks in this garage that it will allow us to have after we upgrade it. Now I could also rest there, but I want to do that somewhere else. I want to show some of these icons off that are floating around on the map. We'll start off with that purple icon. Now if you wanted to, you had a hard time getting to that purple icon, you could go in here and set yourself a little waypoint. Now it has a red road for us to follow. Now as I get close to this parking lot, watch the mini-map on the bottom right hand side. Oh, I think I already discovered this one. Oh, it would tell us that we discovered a new dealership. That's what that is. And then over here, the red icon, that's your repair shop. So if we took any damage, and I think I did, I think I hit a wall. We can go over here into service. It lists all the damage that we've taken. I've taken 68. Now I don't know if that was because I scratched that wall or if my vehicle just took damage over time. You're going to notice that as you're driving around, it doesn't matter if you hit anything or not, you will end up, I guess that's for like engine wear and tear and tires and stuff, you'll eventually occur a little bit. It won't get too bad. That's where you do your repairs at. This is how much money that you have left over. Now if you wanted to, there was an option before I repaired. I could unclick various parts of my truck and only repair what I want. So that's a good feature to have. Here's your upgrade shop. You can click on different things that you want to purchase for your truck and upgrade it. The only option I have right now, this is stock. I can't change that. I can't change the what is that? The truck's dimensions. I can't have more tires and stuff like that. That's your engine. Eventually you got to be level 6 to upgrade that. Automatic retarder. I'm gonna man, I want that, but I don't have enough money for it. I could borrow some more, I think, from the bank, but I don't want to do that right now. If you're somebody who's from a different place like Europe, you could change it to where you drive on the right hand side. Of course that will cost you money. You can change the colors, and here's where you could do various upgrades to your truck. Put something on top. Well, we're not high enough level. I could put a row bar up there if I wanted to, and then put some headlights up there. But do I even have enough money for that? I might. As you can see, a lot of these things are going to be locked depending on what level you are. I think that's probably, yep, I'm maxed out. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and confirm the order. We got a nice little bar up there with some headlights on it. So I'll confirm that order. We'll get out of the shop. Let's take a look at that. And my button's not working. Oh, it was working. I had to have my truck started. Something's not right. Bear with me, I'm trying to find the hotkey real quick. There we go. Turn on our auxiliaries and our low beams. Beacon, I don't have it, but I'm going to go ahead and turn it on anyway. Yeah, you can see our lights. They only come on when you turn on your brights. So if you don't have your brights, they're not on. So I can turn my lights off, parking light, real light, and then my brights. Oh no, I'm driving on the left-hand side of the road. Or, well, right-hand side. I know my left and my right, really. How much will it cost me to change that? $13,000. I don't have enough. I'm going to try to confirm it and see if it'll put me in the hole. It'll probably put me in the hole, and that's not a big problem. No, I don't have enough money. Let's see if I can borrow just a little bit from the bank real quick. If not, I'll just have to deal with it until we get some more money. Yep, I'm maxed out. Can't borrow any money. Alright, well, we'll just deal with it. It's not what I'm used to. Not in the US. Need to change my mirrors. There we go. Well, that really just messed everything up. Alright, let's go to that yellow icon down there. And I'm going the wrong way. It's alright though, because we're going for map completion, and that means turning all these gray roads yellow. Well, that's really rough driving on the right when you're used to being on the left. It's alright. I think after one or two trips I'll be able to change that back. I can't see on this right hand side. I'm just not used to it at all. Alright, this is your recruitment agency. So what that does, now that we have that unlocked, we can go down here to the recruitment agency, hire a driver. Again, we can't do this because we don't have two vehicles, but I just want to show you real quick. And we unlocked this, I believe that's a lady. If that's a guy, I do apologize. It looks like a female to me, that could be a guy. Anyways, we unlocked this driver. So if we open up the map, we'd have to go to all these different places and unlock different agents that we can hire to work for us if we had another vehicle for them to drive. Now we'll head over to the motel. Actually, we'll go to the truck stop. Can't see. Oh, roundabouts. I'm not used to these at all. I don't like them. I will say they look nice, but functionality wise, I am not used to them. I don't really understand. I think, you know, obviously left-hand lane means stay in the left-hand lane, right's for right. Outside of that, I don't know the entire rules of them. I'm not sure how fast you're supposed to drive. I can only assume it'd be 25, and I actually want to turn right there. So what this is in order to get a job, you could press escape and you could go to the job market and do it this way. You've got your quick jobs, which is what we've been doing using somebody else's vehicle. We also have the freight market. What that is, same thing as before, except now if I was to accept this trailer, I would actually have to drive to that trailer and pick that trailer up and then take it to its destination. Then you have external contracts. This is something that came out shortly after multiplayer, I believe. We're not doing multiplayer, so I can't show you that right now. Eventually I can, though. But if I didn't want to bring up the map, I could just drive to these places on the map and pick up my cargo that way. Drive on top of here, hit your enter button, and you can see we have the choice of freight. Oh, why does it do this to me? You saw how that screen was black, right? Bring up the freight market and it's black. If that ever happens to you, all you need to do is go rest. And if you can't rest because you're not tired enough to rest, you can always do that trick I showed you. Whoops. Do that trick I showed you where you can hit F7 and have your vehicle towed, and that will reset that screen. So let's go ahead and find us a parking spot. Not what I want. Sorry, I'm trying to get used to the buttons. Let's go ahead and rest, and I'll show you that will reset that screen. The rest icon is that blue icon on the left hand side. Got a nice little motel here we can sleep at. And in order to sleep, just find yourself a nice little parking spot. And that right here will do for us. You can see it tells us to turn off our engine. Press E and then press return. And as you can see, it changed what time of day it is. So if you don't like driving at nighttime, you can just go find yourself a nice little spot, pull over, have a siesta, and it'll be daytime, or within a few hours. Now, with that being said, if you're playing multiplayer, it will not do that. It'll bring up the screen telling you that the time's been changed, but of course, multiplayer, it's not actually going to change the time. Now, if we drive back over there, now you can see that this particular station that I'm at has one cargo that I could select. So if I wanted to, I could pick up my trailer right here at this truck stop. Whereas if I get off this icon and pause the game and bring it up this way, go into job market, freight market, I have a lot more options. But I'll have to drive to the place where these trailers are at and pick them up. you can go down here. So we're at Wien right now. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Wien. Select it, and it will tell me all the trailers that are there parked ready to be picked up at that particular spot. So I go down here to Salzburg. Those are the trailers that are at Salzburg. So I can do it that way. Alrighty, I think that's going to be it for today. Tomorrow we'll get into showing you how to set up multiplayer, get that all up running for you, and do some runs. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and hope you have a great day.